WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for staying up with us tonight. I'm Quentin Smith. Mississippi isn't getting the signal to fully reopen just yet. The current safer at home order, it expires Monday, but today Governor Tate Reeves announced it's being extended. Courtney Ann Jackson was at today's briefing and has the details.
There are very, very few businesses still closed. Honestly, it's mainly just places of entertainment.
Governor Tate Reeves is setting out guidelines for the outdoor amusement and entertainment venues to open. The order specifies that includes places like go-karts, mini-golf, and water parks.
Do we need racetracks and water parks for most people to survive and live quality lives in our state? No, of course not. But does that small business owner and their employees need them open to survive? Absolutely, yes, they do.
But as Reeves mentioned, there are indoor venues like movie theaters and bowling alleys that have not been given the green light.
It's not easy to develop guidelines, but we are working with the Department of Health and others to develop guidelines on ways in which they can reopen, and we're hopeful that we can get those reopened by June the 1st. That is our intent, but again, every single day brings new data and new opportunities for us to make better, more informed decisions.
Another specific group gets the go-ahead in the amended order. School sports teams will get to reopen gyms and weight rooms as long as they follow those similar health and safety guidelines to what private gyms have. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Now, those in high-risk populations are still asked to shelter in place through this extended safer-at-home order. Well, many churches are preparing for a return to in-person services this Sunday, but one Tupelo pastor has been holding services in his church for nearly a month. Pastor Kevin Armstrong leads the King's Dome Worship Center. Like many churches, he switched from the sanctuary to social media back in March. But shortly after Easter, Armstrong reopened the church's doors while still practicing social distancing and cleaning and sanitizing the building frequently. Now, the pastor says he's glad many churches are getting back to in-person services. However, he admits he has concerns over how state and national lockdowns have shuttered churches.
Lowe's never closed, Home Depot never closed, Walmart never closed, but the church closed. Planned Parenthood never closed, but the church did. And so and people say, well, you're supposed to Romans, 1 Corinthians, follow the laws of the land. There are no laws of the land that forbid the church from coming together and assembling. The Constitution forbids it.
Pastor Armstrong is also encouraging his congregation to lead active and healthy lifestyles and use vitamins and supplements to boost their immune systems. Today, President Trump demanded that governors reopen churches, synagogues, and mosques, and he threatened to override those who don't, even though it's not clear that he has the power. There is also a new study indicating that COVID patients taking the drug the president has been using have a higher death risk. Wcbi has the latest from Washington.
Declaring that houses of worship are essential, President Trump said they should reopen right now.
Some governors have deemed liquor stores and abortion clinics as essential, but have left out churches and other houses of worship. It's not right. So I'm correcting this injustice and calling houses of worship essential.
The president warned he would step in if states don't comply.
If they don't do it, I will override the governors.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, quickly pushed back.
We do not want parishioners to get ill because their faith leaders bring them together.
Mr. Trump said his hydroxychloroquine treatment would likely end today. The same day, a leading medical journal, The Lancet, warned not only does the drug not offer benefits, it could cause harm. Researchers estimate the death rate for COVID-19 patients using hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine is about 13% compared to 9% for those who are not, and that the medicine increases the risk of developing a serious heart rhythm problem by 5 times. This morning, Senator Chuck Schumer demanded answers after learning the Department of Veterans Affairs is treating 1,300 veterans with hydroxychloroquine out of 10,000 who tested positive for the virus. The VA is planning to conduct a clinical trial in California.
To use our veterans as guinea pigs in an experiment that they may well not have given permission to be used for is nothing short of outrageous.
The Department of Veterans Affairs is firing back, telling CBS News the notion that VA providers would make treatment decisions based on anything other than what's best for the patient is baseless and preposterous, adding that patients are made aware of the risks linked to the drug. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
Senator Roger Wicker says he can't support the latest stimulus plan passed by the House of Representatives. The coronavirus relief bill would provide patients to individuals, hazard pay for essential workers, and money for coronavirus testing and treatment. It also has a $3 trillion price tag. The senator says he's concerned about some of the measures in the bill.
The term cannabis was used 68 times in this bill, and jobs only 57 times. So it was a bit backwards. There was a lot of relief in this House-passed bill for illegal immigrants, no deportations, continuing the unemployment benefits till the end of January next year. The real secret to me is to get America back to work.
Now, Wicker was a yes vote on the first relief measure, which is the $2.2 trillion CARES Act. Lowndes and Lee County law enforcement are set to receive some grant money from the federal CARES Act. U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith says the sheriff's departments in both counties will receive a little more than $58,000. At least 9 law enforcement agencies all across the state have received some grant money, which totals more than $6 million. Lowndes County Sheriff Eddie Hawkins says his department will use the money to equip each patrol vehicle with a computer, keeping deputies on the road. Lee County Sheriff Jim Johnson says his agency will use the money to purchase CDC-recommended supplies for first responders, such as gloves, masks, and sanitizer. Drive-through COVID-19 testing is coming to Oktibbeha County. Testing will be Thursday, May 28th at the Oktibbeha County Safe Room on Lynn Lane. You must have an appointment to get tested. Now, in order to set up an appointment, you have to be screened using the C Spire Health app or call 662-497-7200. You will not have to leave your card during the test. UMMC will contact anyone with their results.
A warm and muggy 91 degrees today, the official high at the Air Force Base. That marks our first day over 90 degrees here in the Golden Triangle. And unfortunately, we're going to go up from here probably close to 100 degrees by the time we get to July. So enjoy these 90s while they last, because they are going to increase, as is the heat and humidity. And the summertime thunderstorms also starting to bubble up. We had some showers and storms down in Noxubee and Pickens County that actually let out an outflow boundary through the Golden Triangle, a quick burst of wind and some dark, scary clouds. Generally, though, the worst of the weather stayed along and south of Highway 82. Overnight tonight, I think we will see an isolated shower or two. Generally, most of us will stay dry. Temperatures getting down to right around 70 degrees or the upper 60s for a lot of us. And of course, it is Memorial Day. A lot of folks going to be outside. I've got your full Memorial Day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Quentin.
Thanks so much, Trevor. Honoring America's heroes is going to look a lot different this Memorial Day. Most large ceremonies have been canceled, but many are still planning to remember the fallen, just in smaller settings. Our Stephanie Poole has more.
Well, even though we don't have the services, trust me, all the family members and the friends that lost people in combat, they remember it.
Tony Ballard is a retired Master Sergeant. He's a 2-time war vet, serving more than 21 years in the Army National Guard and Marines. He says although events are no longer scheduled for Memorial Day this year, he's asking families to still pay their respects.
If they can make it to the cemetery, and if they don't even have to put nothing on it, walk up there and reflect on the sacrifice that person made by dying in combat for this country.
Paul Bell is the current commander of Veteran of Foreign Wars at Post 5569 in Ackerman. He believes it's all about unity.
You know, military, police, fire, EMS, you know, all those guys, you do it for the camaraderie and the team. Like you said, even though they might not be having events around, you know, everyone that's been there, done that, families still going to remember. You know, and it's a daily thing that you remember every single day.
2 events at state cemeteries in Newton and Kilmichael will also be canceled. Executive Director of Mississippi Veteran Affairs, Stacy Pickering, along with other state leaders, are observing with a virtual Memorial Day commemoration.
This Memorial Day is a day that is set aside to reflect on more than 1 million Americans and 4,500 Mississippians who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedom. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've asked our state leaders to participate in a virtual Memorial Day remembrance as they lay a wreath in honor of those Mississippians who have paid the ultimate price. The wreath that is presented is just one way we can say thank you.
That was our Stephanie Poole reporting there. Now, several cemeteries all across the state will be open on Monday for visitation. And turning our attention over to weather, Trevor, this is our favorite part of the night.
Yeah.
Who was nominated for tonight's forecast?
Quinn, I think we're going to have a lot of dogs happy about this Memorial Day forecast because not only are they getting scraps off the grill, but the weather's also going to be nice. Tonight on the Emerson Animal Hospital forecast, it is Brandy. Brandy's hanging out by the pool. That's not a bad idea. Highs getting into the 90s tomorrow with a few isolated pop-up storms. We've got your full forecast coming up right after this.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Well, Memorial Day is upon us, the unofficial start of summer when most people start to ramp up those summer plans. And boy, is it going to feel like summer this weekend with highs getting close to 90 tomorrow and for Sunday, still in the mid and upper 80s for Memorial Day Monday, with the chance for a few isolated showers and storms out there. Not everybody going to see rain each day, but it's going to be one of those hit or miss summertime pop-up thunderstorm kind of things where some people get wet and some people stay dry. And the reason for the storms being in the forecast is this low pressure system. You see it spinning back there in the Plain States just north of OKC. We've got several tornado warnings right now in northwest Arkansas. Fortunately, not going to be an issue for us, but this warm front lifting up to the north is filtering in a lot of Gulf of Mexico moisture. That's helping to keep us warmer, more humid, and is also going to increase the potential for some isolated showers and storms across our area for the next 7 days. Right now on the Alpha Insurance Camera Network, a mostly clear sky in Columbus, 71 right now with a light wind of about 5 miles an hour. But if you were out and about earlier today, you might have seen some of those storms, or if you were in the Golden Triangle, you saw the backside of the storms, which featured some beautiful mammatus clouds. This photo from Steve right there along Highway 82 at the Tombigbee River in Columbus. And what these are, these little air pockets are on the back side of the storm, can't exactly make it to the ground, so they just make these little pouches here. Very beautiful clouds to look at, mammatus clouds once again, and you can see the backside of that cloud as the sun begins to set, making some beautiful scenes there earlier this evening. 69 for the low tonight. We'll stay partly cloudy with a stray shower or two possible. Most of us are going to stay dry overnight. And tomorrow, if you're kicking off Memorial Day weekend with a Saturday backyard barbecue, maybe looking like this. Hey folks, if you're going to barbecue and your grill looks like this, I'll be right here tomorrow, so bring some down to downtown Columbus. I would love to taste test your food because, I mean, just look at that. That will make you hungry. If you haven't had plans to fire up the grill, you might want to do it because it is going to feel like summer. 90 for a lot of us tomorrow with some afternoon showers and storms. Most of us start out on a dry note with just a few clouds out there. I think we even see a few peaks of sunshine as we get closer to lunchtime. The best chance for showers and storms tomorrow is going to come in here by the afternoon, say around the sunset time. But again, most of us are going to stay dry, aside from a few pop-up showers and storms. We are going to stay muggy, though. That dew point staying in the mid and upper 60s to 70. That means we stay humid and hot for the next few days. 90 for the high this weekend, a few showers and storms. Better chances for showers and storms going into next week with highs staying in the mid to upper 80s.
Warmer weather has arrived and area farmers markets are ready for business. And even though COVID-19 has brought on added precautions, our Savannah Gato finds that interest in fresh fruits and vegetables is still growing.
Well, I think people are really ready to get out because everybody's been in the house for so long, and we're really excited to be able to provide a safe way to get the healthy things that people need.
And part of keeping customers safe at the Hitching Lot Farmers Market, they're only allowing 10 vendors. This will help adhere to social distancing guidelines. Catherine Lucas has been booking vendors for the market. She says they will add on when more produce is available.
I don't know if anybody's really timid. I think the only ones that haven't come yet are the ones that just don't have enough stuff to sell yet.
That's the case for Melvin Ellis, the owner of Mayview Tomato Farm.
I am going to participate in the Columbus Farmers Market, but it's going to be a little more limited than it has been in the past. We're a little behind on tomatoes. We've had, up until the past couple of days, we've had an abnormally cool spring.
Ellis is a yearly vendor, but he prefers to sell at the farm.
And I don't want to put down the farmers market at all. I think it's a wonderful thing. Just the situation has made it where we have to be you have to be cognizant of there are some things you have to do, some changes you have to make in your business practice as a result.
Lucas says they're making sure to follow all the guidelines recommended by state health officials to ensure safe shopping for vendors and customers.
I would tell them to come on out. You know, it's an open air market. We're outside. Everybody there is wearing masks and gloves. Nobody's touching the produce. We don't have extra kids and pets and stuff coming right now. So it's really about the safest place you can go. And we're making sure that people are staying 6 feet apart. The vendors are facing the parking lot instead of under the awning, so that way the lines can stretch out into the parking lot and keep people far enough apart.
That was our Savannah Gato reporting there. Ellis says he will be at the market on Saturdays, and when more restrictions are lifted, he'll start set up on Mondays and Thursdays as well.
The community of Oxford turns out to honor a deputy U.S. Marshal as he's released from the hospital just 1 week after he was shot by a fugitive. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
Welcome back. A deputy U.S. Marshal is released from the hospital exactly 1 week after he was shot during a gun battle with a murder suspect. As our Allie Martin reports, the law enforcement officer was given a hero send-off from the hospital.
1 week ago today, U.S. Deputy Marshal Bob Dickerson was shot during a gunfight with the fugitive. Today, family, friends, and strangers turned out for a parade to honor the hero as he was released from the hospital.
It's incredible. We're just so thankful that he's doing well and he's able to go home and to his babies.
Jane Steelman joined thousands of people showing their appreciation for Deputy Marshal Bob Dickerson. Steelman is Dickerson's cousin and was amazed at the turnout for the Heroes Parade.
This is a celebration, and really what better time than Memorial Day weekend to be honoring one of our wounded warriors.
Senator Roger Wicker was joined by U.S. Marshal Daniel McKittrick, who thanked everyone who played a role in the events of last Friday.
We're honoring our Deputy Marshal, Bob Dickerson, who was wounded last week in the line of duty, and we thank God for sparing his life. But we're also taking time today to pause and thank God for the people that he used last week to save Bob's life.
Members of the Tri-Delta sorority at Ole Miss were showing their appreciation for the Deputy Marshal and all first responders.
It's important for a lot of reasons. They were out there protecting us when we had no idea any danger was really happening, and there were so many of them there, and so we wanted to honor him and then everyone else that helped us out that day. And we're so happy that he's happy and safe and good, and we couldn't be happier. We've been praying for him for a week now.
Several people in the crowd said the parade shows the tight-knit brotherhood of law enforcement and also support from the community for those behind the badge. In Oxford, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Dickerson is the son of Marshall County Sheriff Kenny Dickerson. The fugitive in last week's shootout, Hunter Karlstrom, was killed in the gun battle. He was wanted for murder in Arkansas. Well, the SEC clears the way to have athletes return to campus in June. We'll have the latest on decisions from the conference and the NCAA next in sports.
Here's sports with Tom Ebel.
Another big step towards sports starting on time in the fall. The SEC gives the go-ahead for football and basketball athletes to return to campus June 8th for voluntary activity. Teams will be able to open up in accordance to university and state and local health guidelines. The decision comes 2 days after the NCAA cleared the way for athletes to return to campus. The NCAA also releasing a statement on Friday that all athletes will be able to return to campus June 1st for voluntary activity. For more on the decision, as well as responses from John Cohen, Heath Carter, and Greg Byrne, go to our website, WCBI.com. The Mississippi High School football coaching carousel continues. One Monroe County head coach is stepping down and joining a staff 15 minutes up 25 north. Smithville head football coach Michael Campbell has stepped down from his position and will join Itawamba AHS's staff as offensive coordinator. Campbell spent the past 3 years as the head coach of the Seminoles, posting a record of 28-11 and leading Smithville to the 1A North half final in 2018. Former Itawamba AHS offensive coordinator Ballard Dampier recently took the head coaching position at Houston High School. That's it for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Memorial Day weekend overall looking nice. Highs near 90 with the chance for an isolated shower or storm. Some better chances for storms as we get into next week. Still not everybody going to see rain, but the chance is going to be there. We're getting into that summertime pattern.
Beautiful weekend. I'm going to pull out my grill and bring some food just for you, Trevor.
Go for it.
Just for you. Have a good weekend, everyone.